And welcome back into the booth here at United Rogue Rocket League. We got the same boys in charge with this next match as we had in the last one as well. And you know what? Far, I heard that they really liked seeing some undefeated teams playing in the last match, you know?
I think I heard something like that too.
So what we did, we're kind of just gonna double down on that. We're going to the East. Carolina Reapers are 4-0. Pittsburgh's 3-0. Both undefeated teams. One of them will leave here with that undefeated record still intact. The other one is going home with 1 L on their record. It's going to be a big one again.
And it feels even more like we're just jumping to the opposite end here. As last series, not only do we have a team that was 4-0 and a team that was 3-0 playing against each other in Dallas and Maui, but they also played in blue for Dallas, green for Maui, and now we're doing red for Carolina and yellow for Pittsburgh. It feels like tonight is just a perfect night for
That's just good
having
branding.
just big clashes against these really big teams, and it's going to be quite the series to watch once again.
Yeah, we are going to hop right into the action. And looking at the rosters really quick, we got Fatality, Tricky, and Ragosia on the field for Carolina. Crayons, Daco, and Rick for Pittsburgh, their usual lineup. We'll see which team comes out on top as kickoff happens, and immediately Daco, with the solo opportunity, looks for the fake. Rick is up. Daco makes the save on Carolina's net. Bit of a misstep there from Pittsburgh early on, but they do have some early pressure at the very least. Pass middle, saved by Ragosia. Daco out of the corner. Pittsburgh all over the offense so far. Crayon wins that race as well, so keeping up the pressure. Fatality with a little bit of time to think about what he wants to do here. Fakes out Rick, does not fake out Daco. Pittsburgh, maybe a back pass. Crayons wins it to the far side of the field, and Carolina will finally get onto the offense.
It does seem that Pittsburgh have opened up this series with just constant offensive pressure, and from what we've seen on stats, especially for this roster, they are very familiar with having some offensive pressure. Fatality getting a shot on target where that one's going to fall just short, as now a shot from Tricky is going to fall a little bit wide. Now Pittsburgh have an opportunity, a bit of a bump there on offense coming from Crayons, but it wasn't enough to clear away the defender. Now Carolina pushing back down the field to Pittsburgh territory. A big pinch down to the mid. That one almost finds its way into the back of the Pittsburgh neck, but now Daco looking for an opportunity. That one's going to fall on target. Tricky a little bit awkward, and now Carolina in a very unfortunate circumstance where they find themselves stuck on defense with almost no boost in their tanks. Now Daco trying to get something going in favor of Pittsburgh, but now it looks like they are the ones sitting with very little boost in their tanks, and it ultimately falls to keeping the scoreline clean.
Tricky waiting for the play from Pittsburgh. Daco moving out towards the middle. And Carolina just a little bit of a step behind so far in this one. The shots heavily in favor of Pittsburgh. Crayons is up, looking for another chance. That one goes wide. Tricky, a good 50. Trying to win the race to it as well. They'll put some pressure on, but Rick does well to clear it. It goes towards the middle. Daco pass in deep. Rick gonna leave it for one of his teammates, but help never arrives. It's cleared out by Carolina. Tricky looking to turn it fast. Fatality out of the corner. Wanting a mid pass, but flipped underneath of it. And nothing comes of it for Carolina. Demo comes through. Pressure now. Drop down pass. Daco, that one's wide. Ragosia a little bit awkward, but Fatality, the seasoned vet, will come in to help him out. Crayons looking to turn on a dime and pass it to Daco, who will take it into the corner. Midway through this game, neither team able to find the back of the net. That might change here as Rick has to make a solid play on defense. He does just that to at least relieve the pressure for a moment. Daco clears it to the sidewall. Ragosia cut back and it's in!
The unfortunate mistouch there on the defensive line. Crayons not quite ready for the touch from Raygoja. Tries to respond, but ends up falling perfectly in front of the ball, keeping it in. Carolina open up the scoring for us in game one.
Yeah, Ray came out of nowhere on that play, in all honesty, and it pays off. They're able to open the scoring. Crayons, Pittsburgh boys are going to try to recover here. As it goes into the corner, popped out, fatality, wins the 50, and Carolina back onto offense. Out of their own corner comes Pittsburgh, bump on the goal line. Crayons a bit of time, but he gives it away to Raygoja. What can he do with it? Not a lot. As Dayco will clear it, chasing it down as well for an extra touch. Tricky takes it to the skies for the Reapers. And there's not really much going on in the midfield. Raygoja finally with the solo play chance. Dayco is up, good pinch out, but it's just followed up by a shot from Tricky and one from Fatality that goes to the corner. Double commit from Pittsburgh. Can they turn this? Or can Carolina turn this, I should say? Aren't able to, as a minute left in this game. That's an odd touch out from Raygoja, but he's able to recover. He'll win the race to the corner as well. Dayco low on boost. Rick comes back to bail his teammate out, but it'll be Dayco to try and clear it. Good demo from Crayons. Pass upfield from Rick to Crayons. It drops down in front of the Carolina net, and it's in. Rick finishes it off.
Just full pressure here. Crayons with a phenomenal waterfall touchdown, and Rick in just the right spot. Fatality almost getting it back out off the touch, but just not enough power off of it. 39 seconds left, tied 1-1. It's anybody's game at this point.
It is, and it'll be Carolina who has possession off of the kickoff. Rick in his own corner pops it up. Fatality wins the 50. Still hunting for more is Fatality deep in the Pittsburgh zone. The black and yellow able to clear it on that occasion. Rick is up, looking for options. Pass down low, no one there. A good play from Rick, but just not in coordination with the rest of the team. Bump on the goal line on Fatality, forces Raygoja to win a 50 to clear it out. Well done from him. He'll chase down the demo, opening up a lane for Fatality. Rick is back to make the stop, and we go to overtime in game one.
Could not expect anything less from these two teams. Both teams undefeated, and they are showing exactly why. It's just drama after drama after drama, and they've had exactly what both teams need, but someone is going to end up making that tiny little mistake that's going to give away the win. Pittsburgh have an opportunity here. Tricky able to get it cleared past. Raygoja trying to get a follow possible pass out to a teammate, but unfortunately couldn't find it. That one falls into no man's land. Raygoja is able to pick it up first. Tricky ends up on the follow. That one's going to fall on target. Took all three Pittsburgh players to get it cleared away, as now they're sitting on very little boost as the Titan of Carolina is still crashing down on them with all their offensive pressure. Now, Tricky able to get one on target, but Rick's able to get it clear early. Raygoja trying to just play presence, try and get the 50 there. That one's going to fall back into the Pittsburgh corner. Fatality gets a 50 past one. However, to Raygoja, not able to find the shot. I don't think they were prepared for the double whiff there coming from the Pittsburgh defense, but that was a phenomenal opportunity for Carolina that they just could not take advantage of.
But they still have pressure. That's the big thing right now. Tricky coming in, looking for a shot off the backboard. Dayco and Crayons combined for a clear for Pittsburgh, who finally, after a solid minute on defense, are able to see the red side of the field. Pass down low. That's a beautiful play from Pittsburgh, almost able to finish it off as well. But the finishing touches on that masterpiece just weren't there. Those brush strokes going slightly awry. And it doesn't create a goal for the Phantoms. Fatality breaking it out now for the Reapers. We go back down the other way into a familiar sight for both teams, the yellow side of the field. Rick, make sure we don't stay there for long. Dayco is up. He's got an open net. Leaves it for Crayons, who just isn't in a position to commit. Not expecting it. That's a beautiful infield pass. Far down twice, and it stays out. Still pressure. Dayco with the bump. It finally goes in. Chaos ruled by Pittsburgh.
You could not explain to me what just happened. Carolina get away with a goal line save off of a phenomenal passing play, and it ends up falling perfectly in the hands of the last man back, for Pittsburgh. They end up picking up that extra goal and taking the win. I said it was going to fall down to a very small error, but it ended up just falling to offensive masterclass coming out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I just call it controlled chaos from the Phantoms. A little bit of carnage on the goal line. They're able to capitalize, and they go up 1-0 in this best-of-5 series. Able to take the first game off of an absolutely raging Carolina team.
And just jumping to stats really quick, it's again very close on all fronts here. Pittsburgh having a lot more saves than Carolina, but also having a lot more shots, having 10 to Carolina's 6 in terms of offensive just performance in general. Pittsburgh having a 50% assist rate, meanwhile Carolina having that 100%. But again, that's 1 goal, 1 assist to 2 goals, 1 assist. So it feels like these teams are really well matched, but Pittsburgh, it feels, has a lot more lethality when it comes to just making sure every single shot is perfectly on target.
Absolutely. They're able to eke out a win in game 1. We'll see how the Reapers respond moving into the second iteration of this best-of-5. Rick early up for that one, looking for Crayons down low. It's knocked into the zone. Dayco wins the race. Gets a dunk to boot as well. And no one up for this for the Reapers, at least not quick enough. Pittsburgh not quite able to capitalize yet. They are here again, bouncing on the goal line, and that time it's Carolina able to clear it out.
Woo, man, that was close for Carolina. Again, that one falling on target. It's going to get cleared away. Carolina have been able to get a goal line save on almost every single lethal shot that has come their way, but they may not want to let those happen for too long. Rick able to get a big clear down into Carolina territory. Canyons going for the fake. It's going to leave the Carolina defense a little bit scrambled. Dayco with a solid 50 on Ray is going to go up off the backboard. Bit of a scramble here from the Carolina defense, just trying to get it off of their half is tricky. Off the 50 is able to get it cleared away, but not for long. Dayco immediately on the task is now Crayons trying to 50 it past the second. That one's going to fall back into the Carolina corner. It's a race to the ball. Rick's able to get there first, but Fatality with a lot more presence is able to get it cleared away. Rick, last man back, has to make something happen here. Is able to get it past one, trying to play it past second, but not enough time. As Crayons with the unfortunate touch, that one's a big scare for Pittsburgh, but they're able to get away with it. Fatality with the shot on target gets cleared away once again, and it feels like that's a immediate reverse of what we just saw on the Carolina goal line.
I feel like, again, the cause and effect is the same. It's a bit of panic from Carolina that honestly cost them a goal there. Fatality sees the chaos on the goal line and wants to capitalize as quickly as possible. Ends up putting a very weak shot on net when he could have carried it into an open net. So just a bit of execution issues here for Carolina that they've got to sort out if they want to tie this series back up.
As now Pittsburgh have an opportunity here. Dayco trying to find the double tap, but couldn't quite find the angle. Ran out of boost just before the play could end. Rigoja up off the wall, trying to pass over to Fatality. He's able to get it past one. Rick with the quick response is able to get it there. Tricky with no boost, able to get a big clear away. Fatality assisting with that, pushing it even further downfield. Unfortunate touch from Crayons. Gets picked up again by Fatality. Cleared away by Rick. Dayco. The shot on target is going to be a very comfortable save there for Tricky. That one's going to fall past the defender. It's falling in front of the net, and it falls into the Carolina net. Pittsburgh are up 1-0.
Carolina Reaper dig a little deeper. They're digging themselves in a hole this series, giving up that this lead in game 2. Pittsburgh jumping on every mistake that Carolina makes, whether or not they're able to capitalize or it just bobbles around the goal line. Double tap attempt from Rick is unsuccessful, but Carolina, you got to find some way to recover here.
And we've seen a couple of really good plays coming from Carolina. They've had quite a few shots go very, very close to that Pittsburgh net, but Pittsburgh's solid defense is able to keep it away. As now Carolina have an opportunity here. That's a shot from Tricky, cleared away by Crayons. Fatality is going to be the one to pick this one up quick. able to get it past one, but Rick's able to get a follow-up touch, keep that one in that Pittsburgh corner. Tricky. Able to get a follow-up touch, but immediately 50'd away by the Pittsburgh defense. Dayco able to get a follow-up off the pass from Rick. Rick able to get the hit off of Dayco there. That one's going to fall a little bit too far away for them to reach, as now a pinch going into the Carolina corner. Fatality just trying to play presence on the ball here. Able to get it past one. Dayco with the solid catch is going to have it pop a little bit too high. Ragoja is able to get a follow-up. Dayco just clearing that away, trying to relieve some potential pressure, as now Carolina is going to play this one slow. Not a lot of boost in the tank there for Tricky. That one's going to fall on target. That one's going to fall in. It seemed that Carolina had an opportunity to get a big clear away here, but it ends up just falling into the back of their net.
A little bit of confusion. They go to wall with the ball there in their own half with no pressure on them, and Pittsburgh eventually realized, oh, they're not really doing anything here. They jump on it, and with a minute left to go in game 2, Pittsburgh extends their lead to 2-0.
As Carolina looking to get one. That was a very close call. Fatality almost finding the tightest ankle that I think I've ever seen on a broadcast. But unfortunately, that one's going to fall just a little bit too far away. Rick trying to get this one out to a teammate. Fatality able to hold strong and get the clear away. Ragoja, unfortunate touch. Fatality's going to have to play this one with no boost. Able to get it past one defender regardless, and still has some presence on the ball. Dayco with a clear. A trade demo is going to turn this into a 2v2. Carolina are able to pick up a goal just under 30 seconds left. They've got to make it happen quick.
Sacrifice from Ragoja, taking a hit, giving a hit, and giving a goal to Fatality there, bringing the lead down to 1 with 30 seconds left. We'll see if the Reapers are able to try and tie this game up, try and tie this series up, or if it'll be Pittsburgh taking a match point lead. More demos from Ragoja on the goal line, but no success there. Rick just putting it on net, trying to force out a mistake, and it happens. Dayco is there to capitalize.
Very tight play here coming from Pittsburgh. Rick able to get a very solid touch, and Dayco just barely reaching, trying to scream across the net there to push that one in, and is able to get it. 11 seconds left for Carolina. It seems almost impossible at this point, but it is still very much possible for them to get something here if they're able to make it happen quick.
It's got to go in with time left on the clock, though, and that does not look likely, as it's just Tricky there. Shot on, saved by Fatality, and it will be the Pittsburgh Phantoms moving to match point off of another MVP performance from Rick.
Man, Pittsburgh have come out in this series swinging. Every single player on that roster has picked up a goal in this game. And again, 100% goal participation. There has not been a single goal from Pittsburgh so far that has been unassisted. That is exactly what is giving them the edge here. They have that chemistry. They have those team plays that is able to toss up the offensive landscape a little bit. Mm-hmm. And Carolina just need to find a quick response if they're going to come back in the series here.
Sometimes it's just as simple as they're finding more shots as well. They led by 4 shots in game 1, and this time, by my count, well, leading by a hell of a lot more than that. Another 4 shots by the looks of it. I apologize. I'm taking calculus, and my math just sucks right now. So those, the math in the head, it's not happening. We'll leave that. We'll leave the numbers to you, buddy. Honestly.
Oh, I'm never one to trust with numbers. That's always a bad mistake. But regardless, Pittsburgh now up 2-0 in the series. They're able to close it out here, but Carolina going to be doing everything in their capabilities to make sure that doesn't happen, and we go to a game 4 and even a game 5 for them to come back in this series.
You're going to need to start off hot. I don't think you can really afford to give up the first goal. That's almost what happened there, but now it's a counterattack. Ragoja looking for the demo, can't find it. Crayons with a diving stop, looking the other way. Counterattacks back and forth. Tricky respawns in time to make the stop there. Fatality puts it up high, wins the subsequent race. Crayons on net. Tricky makes the save. Rick turning from the corner, pops it out in front. Dayco is up. More just to get a touch than anything else, but it does keep the pressure on. Carolina finally relieved by Ragosia, who is able to clear it out to the Pittsburgh half. Maybe another breakout chance. Tricky diving for that one. Fatality with a shot. Crayons. He is a stalwart wall. We saw it a couple of weeks ago in the series against Jersey for them. We're seeing it again tonight, where he is just the best defender that Pittsburgh has.
Absolutely, and even just looking at their stats throughout the season, it very much does show that. But Pittsburgh pushing down the field again. Rick able to get a bit of an awkward pinch there, as that one's going to fall in the hands of Carolina. Fatality with presence on the ball, trying to 50 with Dayco, ends up popping it up as high as humanly possible without hitting that ceiling. Crayons able to get the catch, but that one's going to 50 in front of the Pittsburgh net. Tricky trying to get something going in favor of Carolina, but it's ended up going to fall short, as now Pittsburgh just trying to get off their half. It seems like every time they get a big clear away, a Carolina player is just there to stop it, and it finally causes them to crumble. For the first time in the series, Carolina have the lead.
And Pittsburgh, a lot of the time, looking for breakout passing plays, trying to generate offense from their own box, and it's starting to just be read by Carolina. That time, Ragosia, or Tricky, I should say, jumps on the opportunity, gets it mid to Fatality, and the veteran presence for the Reapers able to punish there, and Tricky will find a goal of his own.
As you were saying, it does seem that Carolina have figured out Pittsburgh's game here, is now sitting up 2 goals. They have that insurance, and they're able to run with that as much as possible, but still a lot of time left in this game that can turn around so quickly for any team that's playing here.
Yeah, and we'll see if Pittsburgh is able to turn it around. Crayons, nice wave dash, trying to get a flick, but he doesn't really have a car to flick with after that demo. Dayco diving through the middle as Rick tries to take it up high. Cleared out to Ragosia. Good controlling touch will help him move upfield. Can any Reapers turn on that ball? No, they can't. And so they'll have to reset from their own side of the half, or side of the pitch. Crayons to the middle to Dayco. Shot on, off the post. Is anyone there? Rick, no boost. He still goes high just out of instinct. And because of that, Carolina given some time to try to recover. Up high, Rick's got a full tank this time, and he puts it off the crossbar. Bounce shot goes awry, and we stay 2-0.
Oh, tragedy there for Pittsburgh as another shot coming in here from Dayco. Follow up from Crayons. Getting an extra touch off the wall there, trying to keep control in their favor. As that one, a big clear away where he goes to trying to get a possible redirect there from the midfield line. Not going to happen. Tricky has control, runs out of boost. Crayons is there, but very awkward on that wall. Isn't going to be able to get much. A demo from Rick on Tricky. That was very likely a big save there, as we could have seen a very big pass play coming out from Carolina, as now Crayons on the backboard. Able to get it cleared away, but that one falls immediately back in front of their net. Fatality just trying to play possession at this point. Just over 1:30 left to go. Dayco, get it on target. It's almost seemed away, but it goes in regardless. That lead is now cut in half.
Very, very, very close there. Almost able to recover is Tricky in net, but he can't quite force it out. 1:31 left. Pittsburgh, a chance to close out this series if they can find 2 more goals in this game. Rick trying to generate from the ceiling. Ragosia clears it out, following up with another touch. That's a beautiful touch. Deft and up high, forcing out a double commit from Pittsburgh. Rick off the ceiling to contest here, finds it. Tricky gets a second touch on it. Mid-pass isn't there. Dayco going to turn sharply for this one, trying to follow it into the zone. Pass out, Fatality to Ragosia. Crayons cuts it off. Tricky just gaining some time, trying to chew off time from that clock. If you're Carolina, that's about all you can do against the unrelenting pressure that Pittsburgh is attempting to put you under. Crayons able to find a 50 there. Ragosia goes for the demo. Fatality goes for the ball, but it's Crayons to try and punish. Rick didn't trust the miss, and he didn't go for it. Trying to recover this offense is Pittsburgh. They pinch it out towards the middle, but it's Tricky to clear it out to Ragosia. Shot on is saved. 30 seconds left. What else does Pittsburgh have?
As this one now pushing down to Carolina territory again. They've got to make it happen now. If it gets cleared away, that might be it for this game. Crayons pass out to Dako. Dako with the shot on target. It's going to fall in front. Rick with the follow-up off the save. Ends up falling away. Just under 10 seconds left now. They've got to get something going in their favor, but none of them have boost. A big clear from Tricky is able to put that all the way back onto the backboard and onto the ground. Carolina stay alive in the series.
Oh, there we go. Carolina, they're able to right the ship somewhat and get on the board. Tricky and Fatality with the goals and plenty of saves to go around. But they're able to start to match Pittsburgh blow for blow here in Game 3.
And it seems like we've seen a flip in statistics. Carolina now having perfect goal participation, Tricky having a goal and assist, and Fatality having a goal and assist. Ragoja, not as much offensive statistics, but definitely a very big powerhouse when it comes to it, as they had a lot more physicality coming into that game. And it definitely showed, as that opened up at least one of those goals very, very much. And that's exactly what Carolina need to get back into the series, but they're still on match point. They've still got to win 2 more without letting Pittsburgh even have a whiff of a win in these next 2 games here.
And that first goal will be crucial for both of these teams. Pittsburgh will come out of the gates flying, and Carolina knows it. You have to find some way to quell Rick and Dako on offense if you're Carolina. Otherwise, they will eat you alive early in this Game 4 and come away with a victory in the series outright.
As Game 4, counting down to kickoff, a clean scoreboard and a full clock. It's going to be up to these teams. Carolina trying to stay alive in the series. Pittsburgh trying to close it out. They have a small opportunity here, but that one's going to fall away quickly. Now Carolina, a big pinch from Tricky is going to send it all the way back to the Pittsburgh backboard. Dako with control ends up losing it to Ragoja. That's going to be a pinch out. Tricky with the presence is able to get their Fatality a little bit too far up. Now it's going to be a scramble back for Carolina. Just trying to make sure that Pittsburgh don't have an open net here. Dako with a big pinch off the corner is going to send it away. Tricky with a great follow-up is able to get it cleared away. That's going to be an opportunity. Fatality's just going to put this one on target, and it goes a little bit high. Ragoja trying to get the follow. Now it's a scramble back once again. Pittsburgh trying to capitalize on this one. Pass from Crayon to Dako. That one almost flies this way in, and ultimately the 3-way pass play from Pittsburgh is going to give them the lead.
That was almost an incredible play from Pittsburgh. They still find all 3 players off the passing. That's what we love to see from the Phantoms. That's some Phantoms football right there. They find the lead in Game 4.
Oh, man. And that is exactly what you want to see from Pittsburgh coming into this Game 4 here after losing that third one. They need that good team chemistry, morale more than ever, as now Carolina trying to get something going for themselves. Dako with control has a half tank of boost, just trying to play this one past the last defender. Gets demoed for their efforts, but Crayon's able to keep it in the Carolina half. That one's falling in front of the net, and the defender on the backboard couldn't find the touch. It bounced just a little bit too far out, and now Pittsburgh have the insurance.
Ragoja doesn't land wheels down on the backboard. He landed with his back on there, and that tiny correction that he had to make on the backboard cost him that goal. Just the smallest of margins in this series for these teams. Carolina, you put Pittsburgh into this spot in Game 3, but now you need to find 2 goals to try and recover.
As now Pittsburgh looking to have another opportunity here. That one's going to fall all over the place as it ends up into the Carolina corner. Crayons with the center out to Dako. Dako pass out to Rick there. That was very familiar from earlier, as now Carolina have an opportunity. Rick getting the bump on the attacker that was sent up early. That's going to cut that play off very, very early. And now Dako has a lot of room to work with, a lot of boost, able to get it all the way up, but runs out just before they're able to get that follow-up touch. Now Carolina defense a little bit awkward on the back line. They've got to get this one away quickly. Dako with the challenge and another follow-up touch off the wall. Crayons trying to keep the pressure going in favor of Pittsburgh here. Rick off the 50 from Tricky. Dako gets a 50. Ragoja with a phenomenal challenge is going to have an opportunity here, but it gets cleared away. And again, Carolina have a great opportunity at it, but they just cannot capitalize.
And a bit of a, I guess, change in strategy from Pittsburgh. We mentioned earlier that a lot of their breakouts were centered around creating offense. They wanted to find passing plays out of their own zone. Now, they're kind of just settling for getting the ball out, which is a good change in this series, as they're able to generate more and more pressure simply by the ball being in the other half. They almost found a goal there. We'll see if they can find a second insurance goal, or if 2 will be all that they need with 2 minutes left in Game 4. Carolina looking for the back of the net. They couldn't find it on that occasion.
And now Pittsburgh finding themselves a little bit awkward here as they keep falling back on defense from Carolina pushing, but they've just got holed out for another just over a minute and a half here. Fatality looking for a follow-up, a great defensive play. I believe that was Crayons able to get it cleared out. Regoja has the fake, gets it past one, pass over to Tricky, but it's a little bit too much heat as that one's going to get cleared away. Now Rick with a pinch out to mid. That one's going to go just a little bit high, but they got to be a little bit quick on it. You don't want to give Pittsburgh the opportunity to score right there as Dako fakes it past one, gets the pop past the other, but Regoja steadfast is able to get it cleared away. It seems that now Pittsburgh has had a lot of offensive pressure, but Carolina is able to hold, but they just have not been able to get off of their back foot.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh nowadays, we see a lot of old vets that aren't able to keep up. Sidney Crosby, Aaron Rodgers, not on this Phantoms team. These guys are all so fast, so quick, and they have dominated the pace of play in this fourth game, I should say. It might be the final game with Crayon's goal there.
Great presence from Crayons. No boost, no problem as Fatality, just the unfortunate touch, is going to leave that net wide open. Under a minute left. Now Pittsburgh up by 3. It's all pressure on Carolina. They've got to get something immediately if they want to stay alive in this game and in the series.
Crayons clears it down, trying to just stifle anything that Carolina might have left. 2 up on that one for Pittsburgh. Rick trying to follow it up. It'll be tricky to fire it on net. Looking for a rebound, looking for a demo. Fatality finds one of them, but they don't find a shot. Tricky finally turning for this one. Dako is up. It'll be on him to try and get it out. He gets a little bit of help from Crayons, but they are successful in getting it to the midfield line. 20 seconds left, and that'll do it.
Oh, man. Credit to, I believe that was, it was Tricky. Credit to them. That was an amazing shot. I just want to point that out really fast. That was a very tight angle, but unfortunately it falls into the wrong net. That seems like the dagger that's going to send this series in favor of Pittsburgh. Now they're just trying to get another one, as that one's going to fall in front of the net and fall in. Now it's just rubbing salt in the wound for Pittsburgh.
Kind of feels like even when they don't mean to, they get these 3-way passing plays. That one goes off the post to Crayons. Like, all right. I don't even know if they're showing off at this point or if that was just completely on accident. I'm leaning towards the latter. But we'll see now after 2 games in MAC League tonight. We cut down the number of undefeated teams from 4 to 2, even with that kind of go-home goal for Fatality. It'll be Pittsburgh in the East, the only team with a 0 in the loss column.
And just overall, there's still an opportunity here for Carolina to try and get something just to go home with, as now that one is going to fall to the ground and end the series. Pittsburgh coming away with it 3-1. But as you were saying, not only were the amount of undefeated teams cut in half, but the 2 teams that are no longer undefeated were both 1 seeds in their respective conferences. We had 2 upsets tonight between undefeated teams.
A big game for Pittsburgh, and just a phenomenal way to end it out. 5-1 over Carolina. See the stats there. That will pretty much do it for us on the desk, but we still have 2 more matches left to go on this broadcast. Coming at you next, we move from macaroni to the noodles, the Noodle Cup Series, New Orleans Curse versus the Denver Scream will be on your screens next. We hope you stick around for that one, and we will see you all very soon.